Hello and welcome to EarthStar Talk, episode 8. Today we would like to talk about something very unusual and really not known and publicized yet. Have you ever thought how guardian angels really work? I'm sure you had an experience where you thought, oh my gosh, my guardian angel really took care of me today when something really dangerous happened. See, sometimes we have accidents and we should have died, but we didn't. I'll give you an example. A car slithers off the road, rolls over in the middle of winter. The person who's the driver gets a head injury. But miraculously, even though everything's dark and snowy and cold, miraculously can get out of the car, crawl up the ditch to be found by a passing by car in the middle of the night and gets miraculously saved. Or a person drives in the car, gets a heart attack, slumps over, and normally would fall and bring the steering wheel to the left into the upcoming traffic. But in this case, finds himself watching while the car gently moves, goes to the right, and rolls out. And again, miraculously saved. And the third one, somebody drives again, oftentimes accidents happen with cars, right? And is so tired from stress, it has to move, go, and drives the truck and drives and drives and drives. And all of a sudden finds himself nodding off and somebody taps him on the shoulder not to go over the middle lane. But is so tired and stressed that all of a sudden he or she finds himself watching him or herself driving. And before you know it, and the person wakes up, it's already 3 villages over. So how can that happen? I'm sure you all have had similar experiences. Well, there's a secret, a very rarely divulged secret. These guardian angels work with humans. Yes, you are right. Guardian angels work with humans. What kind of humans can they possibly work with? Well, I call them the sleepers. These sleepers are soul empaths. They have been trained from birth or this existence in 3 dimensions to be able to tune into another person's body and take over their brain function. How can that be? Well, when we know that everything is energy, swinging atoms and quarks and so on, the table, the chair, our body, then with the frequency alignment from one consciousness to another, it is possible to direct the other person's body and take over muscle functions. I have seen one fascinating video, unfortunately, I never could find it again, where a psychic tunes into a diseased person's brain and gives them the consciousness of self-healing. And with electrodes, they had to demonstrate how that worked and which from, let's say, the to be healed was lighting up certain areas in the brain totally differently than a psychic. And once they were connected and a psychic empath tuned into the other person's body, all of a sudden the flare up where the brain was flaring up light-wise through the electrodes was the same. They were seeing the same picture. Very fascinating. I wish I would have found that. And if anybody sees that video, please send me the link. That would be great, because to me, that's the proof of what we are discussing here. So this trained soul empath from birth is allowed to tune into other people's bodies for their sakes, for their betterment. So you don't have to be in fear that such a soul empath would just tune into anybody's body and get covered and manipulate. That's not permitted. So no fear there. But how does that work when a guardian angel needs the help of a so-called sleeper? Because mostly they work in nighttime, where other people go into dream time, they go to work. So let's say case file number a person rolls over and is severely injured, is flung out of their body with their spirit body, and the awareness is flung out of the body too. So that's why sometimes people watch themselves doing certain things, because they're literally out of their body, out of body experience. So then the guardian angel gives a signal of light, like a little spark, like ringing the doorbell of one of the closest available sleepers. You have to understand, in the spirit world, there's no time and space limitations. Yeah, in the dimensions where the angelic realm is, you can see things from a multidimensional perspective. So they find then a sleeper and do the bridging. They bridge that sleeper's awareness consciousness, or what we in a esoteric world would call second body, energy body, spirit body, and project it into the matrix of the person's body who is injured. And then there is an alignment, a calibration, like what I told you earlier about the psychic healing the other through projecting brainwaves onto the other party. Something similar happens here. And the sleeper will then, after a normal sleep cycle, wake up with the awareness in another person's body, look around, assess the situation for what they're trained, damage control, assessing, helping, and then take over the body, do what's necessary, crawl out of the car, and slowly and steadily moving upwards towards the street. Or in example number 2, would then wake up, traffic is coming up, and slowly steer the steering wheel to the other side and let the car run out. Or find themselves with somebody tired and take over. Because I've had many reports of people who I try to validate my own workings at night and work with my guiding ones on a little story. And part 1 you will find down in the description box for you to read more about what I'm telling you today. So how does that work further? And what does that mean for the so-called sleeper? Well, some people go back into their body then and have leftover markings from that particular incident. Let's say a sleeper might wake up in their physical body after tuned back into their own brave wing concept and feel heartache, the leftover residue of the other person having had a heart attack. Or you might find that the sleeper has certain marks, like cut marks, what the other party endured. But after about 15 minutes, I find that those symptoms or markings are gone. I personally had a shot mark once, and I had this big blotch on my shoulder, and after 15 minutes, it disappeared. Do sleepers remember everything they're doing at night? Not necessarily, because the guardian angel and the helper groups who help project the sleepers into the incidents, they have an agreement with the sleepers to mind wipe, so that the sleeper might wake up like, did we do this on time? Or did we manage to do this? Or everything good? And then asking themselves, why would I ask these questions right now? That's weird. Or you might, if you're a sleeper, you might find yourself waking up in the morning and think, oh my God, I'm so tired, as if I would work all night. Well, most likely you did. So to all of you who have this particular sensation that you're waking up, should be rested, you have no particular problems in your life, which should keep you up at night, and then you're waking up and you're tired beyond belief, like you have run a marathon, but you wouldn't know why. Then ask your guiding ones, your own personal guiding ones who will help with this process, to show you what you're doing at night. And for a chance not to get mind wiped in the morning. Let them show you what you're doing at night and what workings you're doing. If you do not want to see it, because you think that's overwhelming, that's exactly why most sleepers opted before they do the assignments not to remember everything, then you can allow yourself to see for a while and then to be wiped again. I had a client coming to me once. She could not drive cars. And we discussed this problem issue, and I couldn't really detect any reason from a past life where she should not be able to drive a car. She says, each time I'm thinking about a car, I see cars coming, cars rolling over, cars with frontal accident, cars wrapped around a tree. And it's always something with cars, and I'm always getting hurt. Well, I asked my guiding ones then, is this one of these nighttime sleepers who work with guardian angels? And they said full blown, yes, absolutely. So what this soul said before she started working was, please do not mind wipe me. I want to know everything I'm doing at night. I want to know everything I'm doing. Well, I then explained to her what I'm explaining to you right now. And she said, oh, that makes kind of sense. He said, if you really want to drive a car, then ask your guiding ones, your team, to mind wipe you in the morning. And then you will not have these visions anymore about all these car accidents. You can also ask for a pause. If you feel too tired in the morning to do anything, and you feel like you have worked all night and run the marathon all night, then you can ask your guiding ones and guardians not to do the work and give you a timeout. That is permitted. So you don't have to suffer for your nighttime work. It will only be burdened on your shoulder what you really can carry. So if you are one of those who feels tired in the morning and feels like I worked all night, you probably did, and you are allowed to have a time out of that work. But coming back to our scenario, how does that affect the human body? Well, sleepers are chosen for their empathic nature. That means they can easily tune in to other people's bodies, minds, thought processes, brains, and also other people's physiques. For example, I am a medical intuitive. That means I can scan another person's body from a distance. And even though I'm not a trained medical person, I have to say that I can tune into the person's physique and see what's not working. Sometimes I wish I would have the medical training to be more precise to my clients and can say, well, this organ doesn't work right because of that, or this artery or vein is blocked and it goes from here to here, and you should, take this. Sometimes I'm allowed to get very precise information in that, but other times I wish I had more of the medical training to be even more precise. So what else can soul empaths do than the nighttime work? And how does it affect their own body? Well, these empaths are trained to then naturally withdraw without a trace out of the other person's body. Oftentimes, the soul empaths are also visionaries. They have visions about the future because as time and space does not really exist, they will then be able to go into the coordinates in the future and check out through somebody else's body, look through their eyes, and witness an incident which even hasn't happened yet. That's how most visionaries work, who have a true bodily sensational experience as a vision. It's not just happening in their mind or in their third eye center. It's happening with their whole second body, like the one you use in remote viewing. By the way, in remote viewing, there are two ways to do it. One is that you just use your third eye center light beam. That means you're using your consciousness, your soul aware strength, that spark here, which sits in the third eye center and emanates light into your body, makes the body work and function. Partially, of course, the heart does that too. But when that consciousness leaves, the person can be a vegetable, as we call it. However, when just part of the soul strand and part of this soul spark leaves, we can wander around and look things because we direct our consciousness into different coordinates of time and space. But then there's also the second part, when we go out of the body and we take our ether body with us. What happens then is when we go to a remote viewing location or we want to check something out, other people who can see spirits or sense spirits, they can see us. Oftentimes that happens to me at night when I have a discussion or I called to one of my clients or to one of my students, and they ask for help, and I can hear it or sense it because I'm interconnected with all their clients and all the students. And they ask for help. Then I go at night and I check out what they're needing. And oftentimes these clients or students have then the memory in the morning saying, you know what, you visited me and we discussed ABC. We discussed this and that. And I do not remember all of these meetings because they're too much and too many. But, it should not affect my daily life too. So I have my team sometimes mind wipe me as well, so that I can go about my daily duties as well. Well, I hope this little insight gives you food of thought. And if you're one of those who are possibly a nighttime worker, or we call them sleepers, and help guardian angels, let me know. Put some comments in the section, and we will have a 4-part discussion on this. This was just the introductory part. So if you have questions to what I talked about today, let me know in the comment section. And otherwise, we discuss things further in part 2 of Guardian Angels Nighttime Workers. This was Claudia Granger, Soul Empath, wishing you a great day today. Bye-bye.